Hello everyone, welcome to J Crochet. I am Reggie. Good to see you all. Hi. As you already have a lot of people here in the chat. Hello, welcome. Wonderful to see you all here, and thank you for joining me today. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. And if you're not yet subscribed, please subscribe down below. You can also join our membership program by pressing the join button right next to the subscribe button, or use the direct link in the description box below. Hello to Lisa and Harriet and Carrie is here, and Chris and Sarit and Lashira and Lorraine and Alice and Maribel and Catherine. Hello. Good to see you all. Hi, Tina. I'm very happy that you're all here. We have a very interesting subject to talk about today, which I have been meaning to talk to you about already a few weeks ago. But there was always some kind of delay with the material that I was waiting on, and it's finally arrived, so I can finish my research. And now we can talk about it. Hi, Doris. Hello. Good to see you. Judy. Hi. Heidi. Hello. Hi. Hello to Catbird. Hi. Welcome in. So it's wonderful to see you all. I've had another very busy week. It's stressful, but it's going. So if you're new here, hello, you are watching Yarniversity. Yarniversity is a live class about a different yarn or crochet related subject. It takes place every Sunday at the same time, so if you're watching us live, it's now. And if you're watching us on replay, hi, thanks for watching the replay. You cannot join us in the chat if you're watching on replay, but you can comment down below. And if you are watching live, then you can say hello in the chat and let us know you're watching. Tell us where you're joining us from. If your channel name is not your actual name, then maybe you can tell us what your name is or what you would like us to call you. And if you're new, I'm very happy to have you join our Yarniversity Sundays, which are typically a lot of fun, if I do say so myself. I'm excited for this week's topic. I hope that you will all enjoy it as much as I enjoyed studying it. The shelves look empty. Yes, well, I am getting ready for the move. Hi, Hannah. Hello. Carrie, I'm so happy to hear that. That's wonderful. Yeah. Yes, I do mean it. As you can see, the yarn shelves are getting empty. The yarn room is slowly getting empty. Things are being put into boxes. Things are being shipped away. Things are being sold. Things are being given away, being donated. Actually had an interesting week, which I will tell you about in just a second. But let me just finish saying that even if you are watching us on replay, you can still, leave a comment down below, and I will answer it whenever I see it. And if you don't know if you are watching on replay or live, all you gotta do is take a look at top of the chat screen. If it says live chat or top chat, then you are with us live. And I highly recommend that you set it to live chat so that you can see everyone's comments. If it says top chat or live chat replay, then you are watching the replay. You're not here with us actually live. But you have the benefit of skipping ahead to the parts that are more interesting to you, and you don't have to hear me blabbering the whole time. Hi Debbie, hello, welcome in, and hello to Catherine. Good to see you here. Thank you. Hi Sheila, good to see you here. Hello. Tina is from Louisiana. Good to see you. And Harriet, and hi, Live Love Crochet, welcome in. Good to see you here. Yes. We'll talk about giveaways in a second. Okay, so we always start our Yarniversity with a few things, announcements and things that have to do with whatever has happened over the past few weeks since last Yarniversity. Hi, Angela. Hi, Reggie, and everyone in the chat. Just sneaking in for 2 minutes to say hi. Okay, well, I appreciate you being here. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up. We appreciate you coming in, even if it's just for a second. Enjoy your time with your friends. Okay, so a few things. First of all, I wrote this on Facebook. If you haven't seen it, I also wrote it on the YouTube community post. So it's still running until tomorrow morning. All stitch markers on my Etsy shop are buy one, get one free. And the one that you get free is not one that's on the shop. I will explain that in a second, but you don't have to do anything for it. Just put the stitch markers that you want to purchase in your cart, check out normally, and for every stitch marker set that appears in your purchase, you will get one extra set free. It will be random which set you get for free, but it will definitely be different than the one you purchased. So that is going on. This is a flash sale for this weekend only, because I'm trying to get rid of all the stitch markers because I don't want to take them with me. But it is only this weekend, so it started on Friday, it went on yesterday, and you have today until the end of the day to participate in that. Hi Donin, good to see you. Bank holiday today, really? Is it? Hi, hello Laurel, good to see you here. Hello to these creative hands. Hi to everyone I miss. I'm sorry if I miss anyone. You know that I don't normally keep up with the chat that well. So I have mentioned the stitch markers. Buy one get one free. Like I said, it's random. You can't choose which set you will get, but it's definitely not the same one that you purchased. It might be a different set that is on the shop, and it might be a different set completely. And the teenagers are allergic to family time. It's funny. All right, the next thing I want to say is I want to say about May's Yarn Club. So the May edition of my Wacky Holiday Yarn Club, the posting has already been posted on Etsy. Some of the boxes have already been sold. I think there are only 6 left, if I'm not mistaken, according to the beginning of today's live. But if you were thinking of getting it, you should probably get it before they sell out. They have been selling out every month, so I'm very, very happy. But, if you're thinking of getting it, the theme for May is Lost Sock Memorial Day, which I thought was very appropriate. And I hope that you guys would love what I did with that theme. And the dyer who did the yarn, the exclusive colorway for May is by Emily. She is the yarn dyer from Israel. I did a video about her yarn shop in my channel a few months ago. You can go back and watch the video of the yarns that I got from her. And she also did the Hanukkah advent that I got and opened every day on Hanukkah. So if you watch me open that and saw the beautiful colorways that she designed. So she is the designer for May. The yarn for May does have wool in it, so if you don't like wool, it is super wash wool, but if you don't like wool content, I'm just gonna say that straight away. Hi Roberta, good to see you. Hello to Deborah, good to see you too. Hello to yours truly by Rose. Hi, Jax! And wow, how wonderful you're here. You're ready with your notepad. No. You don't only make one sock. I will include ideas for what to make with lost socks that lost their partners. Okay. But no, the pattern will definitely not be for one sock. Although maybe I will make an additional pattern for the one that I wanted to put in a box for a sock bunny. Hi, Melissa. Oh no, you really don't have to watch a 45 minutes ad. Can someone write her in the chat that I said that she does not have to watch that? Hello, Nami and Gracie. Good to see you all. Hi, 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 hi. Thank you all for joining. I highly appreciate it. If you're joining in, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you haven't yet. And if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, please subscribe down below. All right, so I mentioned the Etsy buy one get one free on the stitch markers, and I have mentioned May's Yarn Club. That listing is already on Etsy, so you can already get it if you want. But like I said, I mean, I'm really happy about how the way this Yarn Club is going so far. It has been selling out every month until now, and I hope it will continue this way. And I have been getting very good feedback from the people who are getting the boxes. They seem to really like it. There have been, I think, 5 or 6 different videos from different people who have YouTube channels. Some will open them on their lives, some did a special video for it, and I'm very thankful for everyone who did something like that. But if if you are interested in what's in the boxes, there's always a few weeks after the boxes are shipped, I do a reveal on my Instagram, so I show what was in the boxes. But also you can check out videos from different people and see what was inside. Yeah, don't stay. You love the shawl. So this shawl, you may have seen it already on Instagram. That was the shawl that I was blocking on my Instagram post. Many people commented that I had a very interesting and very creative way of blocking shawls. So I'm glad I shared that, because maybe some people got a good idea of like how you can block shawls if you don't have blocking mats. But that is the shawl that was blocking in that Instagram post, and the pattern for this is actually written down. So that is actually, it's good that you said that, because it brings me back to my next point, which was if people who would like to participate in the testing of this pattern, you can email me. You know, my email is in the description box below. Email me, put shawl test in the, you know what I want to say, right? In the subject of the email, write shawl test, and write me that you would like to be a tester. And if you haven't tested for me in the past, it would very much help if you either attach a few pictures of things that you have made so I can see the level of your work, and or if you have an Instagram page or Facebook page where I can see pictures of things that you've made, you can attach that as well. I don't take everyone who apply as a tester. I always choose about 4 to 5 testers per test. So if I don't choose you, like don't be insulted. It's nothing against you. It only means that there were other people who were more suited for that test. But really, like, don't take it personally. But if you would like to test that shawl, if you saw it on Instagram and you loved it, or you see it now on Imogen, let me bring her a little closer. If you see it now on Imogen and you like it, it's triangular shawl. She's just wearing it this way, but as you can see, it's a regular triangular shawl, not asymmetrical or anything like that. The pattern will be, it's already written, but it will only be like ready for testers, or let's say the test will begin in about a week, and it will last for 3 weeks. So if you're interested in testing and you have the time and you have the ability to test, and you know what testing crochet patterns means, email me and ask to take part in this. Okay, so that was that. You need a caffeine. Okay, get your caffeine. You use clothespins and a laundry line to block. I've done it once. Yes, that's that's what I did. I mean, that's what you could see on my post on Instagram, how I blocked this shawl on the clothesline with some clothespins. But I don't normally, like, I usually don't block things. This was like, I wrote it in the post, like, on the rare occasion where I do block something, this is how I do it. you must look up this sock. Which sock? What sock? I have socks. I'm actually wearing really cool socks today, but okay, I'm gonna warn you because I'm gonna show you my socks. Okay, warning you all in advance. Check this out. If you can read this, bring me a glass of wine. Yeah, it's full of my dog hair because my dog hair is everywhere. So that's why. I'm so glad you like the shawl. Hi, Jess. Hello, hello, hello. Good photos only. Exactly. Good photos only for the testers. Hi, Catherine. Little Stitches is here. Hello, hello, hello. I don't swatch and I don't block. Yes. Oh, the sock bunny. A sock bunny is a good idea of what to make with socks that you only have one of left. Right? Totally my socks, of course. Yeah. Person who bought them for me saw them, and of course, obviously, he knows me. All right, yeah, so hi everyone. If you came in and just saw me show my socks, that is not something that normally happens on Yarniversity. I'm lying, of course, because it happens a lot. But hi, welcome to Yarniversity. I'm Reggie. If you haven't yet, please don't forget to hit the like button for this video. Okay, I only have a few more notices left, I promise. So, on the 14th of May, Catherine from Cat's Eye Catchers and Catherine from Little Vicious Stitches and myself are going to meet up at a yarn festival in Duisburg. So if you are in Germany or anywhere which allows you to come by and you would like to meet up with us there, then, you know, you can message me, or if we can't meet up, you can just, you know, go and visit the yarn festival, because there's gonna be like a lot of really, really cool stands. I've seen the list of people who are showing there, and I'm very, very excited. But yeah, of course, the three of us are gonna have a lot of fun, and that will, of course, be filmed for you all, so that you can enjoy it later as well. Soxy Bunny. I love that. Hi, Kate from Bitch and Stitches is here. Hello. I'm so glad that you can come. Lion Skeins of Fire. Exactly. Exactly. I'm totally lying because it happens more often than you think. The Pennsylvania Yarn Festival is making festival in May 14th and 15th also. So looking forward. Yay! Doris, that sounds awesome. Yes, so a yarn festival in Duisburg. I said that. Another announcement. My PO box, it appears on the description box of all of my videos for, you know, if anyone wants to send me something. People send me cards for holidays and so on. It's very nice. I very much appreciate it. I actually cleaned out my yarn room in the past few weeks. I save all the cards. Everything people send me, I save it. So I found all of them from the past 3 years, and I put them all in the box, and of course I'm taking that box with me. So yeah, everything that anyone ever sends me that's written, of course, is being saved, because I do appreciate, you know, the sentiment of people sending me things. But I do want to let you all know that the PO box is going to expire since we are moving. So it's going to expire at the end of June. So, you know, international shipping and all of that, if you have meant to send me anything, please cards only, because anything that's like not, like anything that's big things, I will not be able to take it with me. It's just a shame. So don't send me anything right now if you have meant to. But if you've sent me a card, or you're meaning to send me a card, the PO box will expire at the end of June, and I will update a new address once I have one in Israel. But I'm just letting you all know so that if you know, put anything to send to the PO box and comes back to you. That's why. Yeah, it's very fun that we can all meet up. Hello to Sophia from Arizona. Good to see you here. Welcome in. Quite a few Canadians here today. Yes, I'm glad we are getting more and more Canadians in it. Your package with the watermelon amigurumi and the whip bag came safe and sound this time. Yay! I'm so glad to hear that, Ashley. I'm very, very happy that it arrived, and I hope that you like it. Okay, so in terms of announcements, I think this is it. Now we have to welcome 2 new members that joined our membership club. So let's say cheers and welcome to She Crochet, who is Sheila. And cheers to you, Sheila. It was wonderful to see you on our members only live a few weeks ago. And we also have Kristen Wheatley, which I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. So cheers to Sheila and Kristen. Welcome to the membership program and into our inner circle. Thank you for joining, and I'm looking forward to seeing you on our upcoming members only live. Speaking of members only live, I am loving the pictures. Thank you to all the members who have been or have started on the blanket that we were making in our last members only live. A few members already started on theirs. They posted pictures on Facebook or they sent it to my email, and I'm loving the pictures. Thank you all very much. Keep them coming as the blanket gets bigger, and if you haven't sent me one yet, that's totally fine. Just remember to send me at least one picture if you want to enter into the monthly giveaway for the members. It's okay. Lurking is welcome here. You're late. Hope everyone is having a great day. So far, well, the day here is almost over. Hi, Kim. Welcome in. So you missed the members live. I know. I keep changing the times of the members only live so that every time, I catch other people. We have different crowds every month. But the good thing is you can always watch the replay of it and still work on the project. Yes, it was a great laugh, right, Sheila? We always have fun in our inner circles lives because it's only the naughty people. Oh yeah, it's a lot of naughty stuff going around. Yes, L'chaim. Hi, Mare. Welcome in. Yes, Debbie, I'm so glad we could figure out what was wrong there. And yours is looking wonderful. Yes, so cheers again. Really just looking for an excuse to drink. Now I have 2 things to say. First of all, winners not claiming their prizes. I've posted an angry post on Facebook this week. But that was, I'm not gonna justify myself. I have the right to post angry posts on my own Facebook group. But to anyone who didn't understand, I have been saying this over and over and over and over and over again, and still, people still are not claiming their prizes. Now, if you win anything on my channel and you don't like what you won, especially if it's during a live and we are here live, you can say right away, give the prize to someone else. I would appreciate that way more than you just never contacting me to claim it. So if you want something and you don't want it, say right away that you don't want it and that I should give it to someone else. You don't feel comfortable saying right away? Then email me and tell me, I want this, but I really don't want it. I didn't want to make you feel bad or whatever. Give it to someone else. But stop not claiming your prizes. That drives me nuts. Okay, that drives me nuts to the point that I don't want to give away stuff anymore, but then I think it's not fair to all the people who do claim their prizes. So many people do claim their prizes. They are the majority of the people actually do. But that minority of 2 or 3 people who don't claim their prizes kind of destroy it for everyone, and it's really annoying. Alice, it would have been way more naughty if you were there. I'm pretty sure that the people who won something know that they won because it was during a live. Everyone was congratulating them. They were saying thank you. They just never emailed me to claim your prize. Everyone who did email me to claim their prize got an email back from me, or a message if it was on Messenger back from me, telling them that their prize have been shipped this week. And if you got a message from me that your prize has been shipped, then of course you message me, or I got your message if you're claiming your prize. If I ever enter a giveaway, I make a note on my calendar. Yeah, I mean, do whatever, but I don't do, that's the thing, I don't do these kind of giveaways on my channel. I mean, we only have either the Yarniversity giveaway going, which is pretty much at the end of each Yarniversity, you have to come back to the video and comment, and then the next week I will choose a giveaway. I will choose a winner for this giveaway. So if you weren't on the live the next week, all you gotta do is come back and watch the replay. If you don't want to watch the whole replay, watch the last few minutes of the replay just to see if you were the winner. That is really not that complicated. I don't do separate videos for winners and so on that you have to go and look, and so I don't. It's really, really easy, and I don't have like giveaway videos. They are always on the live. And if it's a giveaway during the live, like we had last week, that every few minutes I gave away a different prize, then you were there. You had to be there because you were there to enter. So you were there to hear your name being called, especially if you like wrote, "Oh, thank you very much. Let's email me to claim the prize." Yeah, I know. It's really annoying, and it's especially annoying for other people who could have won, you know. It's very kind of all of you to suggest to take the unclaimed classes. But yeah, you had that happen with my very first giveaway. Drew again and still didn't get it. See, yeah. I think I forgot to thank you for the obscene project bag. I know you won a naughty knitting sack, right? You got a really good prize. Anyway, if you win anything, especially if it's during a live and you know right away that you won, just open another screen or another tab, or once the live is over, open the Gmail and write me an email. But I give a week. That's a whole week to claim your prize, and there are still people from last week who didn't claim their prizes. How hard can it be? Like, once the live is over, just send a message. It takes exactly 3 seconds, especially when you know I am trying to get rid of the stuff. I'm moving. Like, my moving date is set. So, like, I'm doing all this stuff, I'm giving away all this stuff, and other people would have loved to have them. So if you win anything, I'm going to start only giving people 3 days to claim prizes. I am done with this week to claim prizes, and after 3 days you didn't claim them, your winning is forfeited. On that note, last week on Yarniversity, I drew a prize from the comments on the live of my Earth Day live. So on my Earth Day live, I had a prize that most of it is made out of recycled things, recycled materials, friendly to the environment materials, and it was, you know, in the spirit of Earth Day, and the prize was compiled out of different items. I drew a winner last week. The winner did not contact me, so I drew another winner 2 minutes before the beginning of this live, and the new winner is Lashira Crochet. Lashira, I saw that you were here before. If you're lurking, or if you are, you know, hearing, please confirm in the chat that you have heard your name being called, and email me to claim that prize. You have 3 days. Best practice. Take the time to email the person doing the giveaway as soon as you win. That way you don't forget. Exactly. I agree. Hi, Nana Michelle. Hello, hello, hello. Lori is still on church. I so appreciate that you're half listening to me while you're in church. Always makes me giggle. Yeah. Awesome, Lashira, you're here, you heard, you know, I know you know. Everyone here saw that you know. So, if you want the prize, email me to claim it. If you don't want the prize, tell me now, okay? Don't wait. Yeah, okay. So, those were all the notices that I had for today. Yeah, so we have 57 people here and 46 likes. That's 10 of you that didn't, no, not 10, 11. My math is. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up. If you're watching me on the big screen, you picked a very bad day. I didn't do my makeup. It's like, why are you watching me on the back? Do you really want to see this face that big? But you know, just open for a second. Just for a second, open the video on your phone and give the like button, okay? Really, it's a tiny thing that takes you exactly a second to do, but it helps me a lot with YouTube, you know, analytics and all. Actually, YouTube's been doing its work on my channel and I'm very happy with it. As it happens, I am 50 subscribers away from 8,000 subscribers. That is, yeah, mind-blowing. Something I never thought when I started this channel. I say it so often on my channel, like my aim was to have like 20 subscribers, 20 people that watch me regularly. It appears. But yeah, YouTube's doing his work. YouTube algorithm is functioning well. So I'm very happy about that. Hi Mocha. Hello to all the lurkers in general. Hi, Fiona. You didn't miss too much. Hi, Annika. That is my new shawl. I'm looking for testers for it. I said all the details at the beginning. If anyone wants to test, email me, send some pictures so that I know how you're crocheting. Thank you. We're not quite there yet. We're like 50 away. Hi, Vera. Yes. Colleen. I know in the beginning when you're just starting out, you're like counting every +1 that joins and you're like, oh my God, I'm at 99. I know. It passes. I hope it passes. I mean, there are still YouTubers who count everyone, but I think somewhere along the way I stopped looking every day. But someone told me last week, I think it was Debbie, that says, oh, you're almost at 8K. Thank you guys for letting me know. Thank you. Thank you all. Hi, Anvita. Good to see you here. Okay, Sylvia, thanks for being here. Anyway, I appreciate it. I know for you Europeans, I fall right on the dinner time. It's totally fine. It's like my time it's not really comfortable for anyone really other than myself. It's either dinner time or it's breakfast time or it's church or it's, it's fine. Yeah, go throw yarn at Colleen. She's almost at 100. Let's get her there. But Colleen, be a good YouTuber. Don't do milestone giveaways. Do, get your subscribers the right way and not because you're giving them stuff for free. Exactly, it's just a whisper away. You have some number of subscribers, and that fact completely surprises me every time I think about it. Right? You're like, why do so many people want to watch me? I was like, I'm not that interesting. Even my husband doesn't listen to me that much. Oh, yes, Judy, congratulations. If you're not yet subscribed to Judy, you got it. I mean, I love watching Judy. For me, she's so interesting. She talks exactly about the type of things that, like, you know, she likes the same type of yarn that I like, the same kind of projects. She loves making shawls. She makes ponchos. She's like very, my kind of person. So I love watching Judy. And she doesn't put like tons of videos. She puts one video a week. Which is just my kind of channel, you know, that you don't have to like, oh my god, I gotta catch up on all these videos. You eat at noon. Yay, Jaxley! I love having my Sunday beer with you. Oh, yeah, check out Mocha too. She's almost at 400. Yeah, go pick up each other, guys. Yes, I think so too, Annika. I think so too. I know, Kim, I know. But not everyone can put up a video a day. I think we need like balance. Some channels can put one video a day, some channels will put once a month, and it will balance itself out so that we can watch all of them. Madonna is saying, it's funny how needing 50 when you're just starting goes fast, but when you are in the 1,000, it seems like it takes forever. That could be. I think after a certain number, like the YouTube algorithm pretty much picks it up. Can't imagine that my life would be that interesting, but as soon as I found other reasons to post, it has started getting easier. Yeah, see? You'd surprise how many people love watching beautiful crochet ladies. Aw, are you talking about me? Blushing. Now I'm blushing on a big screen, is in some houses. Yes, exactly, once a week. I mean, I'm not like putting anyone down. 7,940 something. That's close enough. Wanted to edit, but find it hard to fit that time. Yeah, exactly. I have no time whatsoever to to edit right now. I know! I saw your video today, Melissa, if you're not yet subscribed to Crochet in Agreement. I was just watching your video before I came on my live. I think I have it paused because I need to remember to come back and comment on it. But she hit her 1K. Congratulations to you. So yeah, congratulations to all the YouTubers. You're doing a wonderful job. Yes, the editing takes a lot of times, but it is worth it. It does make the difference. I can tell you, for me, personally, edited videos before unedited videos. Again, I'm not like putting anyone down. If you're not editing, it's your own choice. But my personal opinion, I always say to new YouTubers, edit your videos. Cut out those silent moments, those, you know, coughs, those like moments, cut them out. But that's like, you know, if you can, and if you want to put that extra effort into it. And also, like, I personally am 100% anti-vlog every days. Like those vlog every days in April and Vlogmas and Vlogtober, or like how many of those do we need every year? So if you are doing it, if you're doing it on your channel, good for you. I mean, I wouldn't be able to do a video a day. If you are doing it on your channel, more power to you, really. But like I'm not watching it, and I hope you will excuse me. It's not because I don't like you or because I don't like your channel. It's because I really don't have time to watch a video every single day. I just don't. There are too many channels, so many videos. When like thousands of channels do a video a day, my feed gets cramped and I'm like, no. Your son knows Yarniversity? He gives me stuffed bunny because he wants to watch too. Oh, that is so great. It's so cute. I found it easier to edit than to try to get perfect while trying to get something recorded. Yeah, exactly. You just did it, never again. Yeah. I catch you. Witchcraft, right? Witchcraft, completely witchcraft. Like, like how do you do a video a day? Okay, so done blabbering. We are here today to talk about getting your crochet design published in a magazine. That's today's subject for today's Yarniversity. We are talking about, how does it go? How does it work? What are the steps? What do you do before? What do you do after? Okay, so we'll walk through the entire process for those of you who are interested in something like that. So even if you are, if you are a crochet designer and you're here to, learn about how to do it, if you have done it before and you're just, here to give us your advice from your experience, wonderful. If you are just listening in, yeah, you're not a designer, but you're just interested in how the things work, wonderful. Or if you just happen across this video and you're like, who's this weird lady and what is she talking about? You are welcome here too. And yes, so we are going to talk about how to get your design into a crochet magazine, be it, a printed magazine, an online magazine, or it works also the same for like yarn companies looking for designers for their website and so on. It's pretty much the same idea. So any of these, if you are interested in, then, stay with us today. That's what we're going to talk about. It's good for people trying to get watch hours, says Jax. That's what Vlog Every Day is good for, I guess. Vlog Everyday challenges also feed the algorithm in a completely unrealistic way. Yes, that is true. You get tons of watch hours for 1 month, then you get nothing the next month. Can anyone explain what the deal with Vlog Everyday thing? Even people who are devout Christians seem to do it. I'm not sure what it is about. That's why I don't do it. I think it's like way over, like what? Yes, but Chris, that was 1 week. That was 1 week, and the reason was Hanukkah. Hanukkah had 8 nights, and I was just here to light the Hanukkah candle because I thought it was something nice to do together. However, I'm not sure who came up with Vita, like Vlog Every Day in April. Why April? Vlogtober. What's interesting in October? It's pretty much just like make one video every day in the month. And like people, there's no reason for it. There's no like, why? What am I doing on that vlog every day? So people just end up like joining in because everyone's doing it and it's good for watch hours and it's good for that and good for that. And they're like talking about, not everyone, again, not everyone, but the majority of them end up talking about nothing. Because they don't really have something new to say in the topic that is related to their channel every single day in that month. I wonder how you all do tech stuff that goes along with being a YouTuber, like putting up links, editing photos, and other stuff. You learn it. You learn it. Catherine. Yeah, but Isela, it's not correct. I mean, it gets you watch hours and so on, but like Ashley said, it totally messes up the algorithm. You have 1 month where you put a video a day, your maybe watch hours are up, maybe you get like traffic on your channel. But if you don't continue and do one video a day for the rest of the year, it totally messes up your analytics. So it's actually, it does the opposite of what you want it to do. Oh, Annika, I'm sorry. I think I didn't get that from your from your comment, but apparently other people in the chat caught your confusion. Vlog every day for beginners. Yes, you interrupt me, I'll throw you out. Well, it doesn't matter. We are not here today to talk about vlog every day. But yeah, if you guys want, we can have a whole live chat discussing it. I will explain to you, because you guys who know me, for those of you who've been here for a while, you know how much of a YouTube nerd I am and how much I studied into YouTube. So I can explain to you and show you how the analytics, it does not really help you in any way. But we can talk about it at a different time, because it's not today's subject. But if you are a YouTuber, you are here and you are watching me now, and you haven't before watched the Yarniversity about how to run a crochet YouTube channel, and you want to hear my opinion and my advice about it, then you can go back. The video is still on my channel, and you can watch Yarniversity, how to YouTube crochet, and you'll hear me talk all about it. Most are really awful. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Catherine. Hi, Surikata Crafts, welcome in. Yeah, I agree with Debbie. Kim does video. I think you missed a few days this year though, Kim. But at least when Kim does a video a day, she keeps it on the topic of her channel, which I very much appreciate. And I do watch yours, Kim. But Kim does it right. Okay, so if you don't do it like Kim, don't do it. Sure, we can do a rant video where I talk to you guys about everything I think is terrible about YouTube. So let's talk about getting published. We strayed from the topic for way too long today. All right, so today we are talking about getting your design published in a crochet magazine. We said it doesn't matter if it's a published, written, printed magazine, or if it is an online one. Doesn't matter. Oh yeah, definitely that's a good title. So maybe I should get Mocha together with me on that specific Yarniversity. So we are talking about how to get your design published. So first of all, like I said, it doesn't matter if you came across today's class because you are a designer and you want to know how it works, or if you're just interested in how the process works. It doesn't matter. Process still goes the same way. But let's talk about a little bit. We started at the beginning, which is, what does it mean you have to, I mean, I'm a designer. Now I'm a designer, I can, get published in a magazine. So we can all be designers, right? We did a whole Yarniversity series about how to design crochet, and if you went through all the parts of that design series, in the end you should be able to come up and write up your own designs. Hello, Mocha. I'll email you about that. So we can all, anyone can call themselves a crochet designer. Say, I can design now. Like, I've written up a pattern, I can design. So that's not exactly correct. Okay. But in order to be considered as a crochet designer for a crochet magazine, you can be a designer that designs for any level. Okay, you can design anything from beginner level patterns all the way to advanced. But you need to, of course, we will talk about it in a little bit. You will need to know the magazine that you are applying for. If you're hearing my children yelling, please ignore. So yeah, you will need to know the magazine that you're applying for, or the website that you're applying for, before applying, because if your level of designing or your style of designing does not match, then your design will most likely not be picked, right? Okay, so you can be an any level designer. It doesn't really matter what level of user you are designing for, but you do need to know how to write patterns. Bye, Catherine. Thank you for being here. I highly appreciate it. So yeah, you need to know how to put crochet in writing. What does that mean? It means you need to be able to write crochet patterns in both US and UK terms, unless you're only going to apply to a specific magazine. So if you're only applying to magazines that write in US terms, then you don't have to, of course, know how to write in UK and vice versa. But if you're like gonna throw your head in the ring everywhere, then you should be able to read, write, and understand both terms, US and UK. Sounds like you settle it. So yeah, so you need to be able to design for any level, and you need to be able to write your design, bring your design in writing. If you don't have these two, then you don't have the basics. So crochet magazines, pick up a crochet magazine, look at it. They don't publish recipes, right? They publish written patterns, very specific, with sizes, with the correct terms, with the number of repetitions, with numbers. There's no do this until it measures X. There's very specific instructions. So if you are the kind of designer who writes more recipe type of designs, and you want to get published in a magazine or a website, then you have to first of all learn to write in a more magazine style crochet pattern style writing. There was a word missing somewhere there in the middle. So those are like the basics the basic requirements. Okay, you're not required to have already been published in the past. You're not required to. It could be your first ever crochet design that you're submitting to the magazine. We will talk about later about what the magazine will look at when they are looking at your design, but there's no like. There is no such, requirement to begin with. So, but you do have to know the style of the magazine that you are applying for. Is your design method, because you don't have to have a specific design in mind to begin with, but is your design method fitting with that magazine, and can you write in written crochet words a pattern in the terms that the magazine uses. Okay. Yes. And the last thing that you need to be able to do is sketch. Formulaic writing based on crochet project outcome. Formulaic writing based on crochet project outcome. I'm not following. What is the question again? Exactly. Using standardized abbreviations. You have to know how to use, and standardized, not like the ones that they use in magazines, not like the ones you came up with yourself, or the ones you came across. And like I said, unless you are only going to apply to US or UK magazines, if your plan is to get published, and it doesn't really matter what magazine, and you're gonna like throw your design ideas in all directions, then you need to be able to write a design and be able to convert it from US to UK, from UK to US, according to the style of the magazine. So that is something very important. It's not hard to do if you already know how to write crochet. What kind of style of writing? That kind of style of writing. Yes, exactly. You need to like know the language of crochet patterns. You love charts patterns. Would the app Stitch Fiddle be good to learn to chart the designs, or what's good? Oh, I said that so many times here on my channel. There's actually no app, or no. I'm still waiting for that one magical program that does it best, but there is not really a good one to learn how to do charts right now. Not one that I consider good. I know a lot of people use different things, but not one that I personally consider good. So yeah, you need to be able to put your designs in crochet language with the correct or the international way of writing a pattern. That, for a second, I'm putting the UK and US terms aside. I mean, when do you use irregular brackets? When do you use square brackets? When do you use the term repeat 2 more times, or do you say repeat for a total of? Those are different terms, but that's what I mean. Okay. You feel there is a long-term way more likelihood that I will get published writing on something money-saving topic than for a crochet pattern. They are sometimes looking for articles as well, Kim, by the way. When I try to learn coding, says Ashley, I look at the best and most recent examples possible and try to emulate those with my own code. That would be like the good way to start learning how to write crochet. Not an expert by any stretch. However, I use my knowledge of writing lesson plans for teaching to write down my patterns. Adobe Illustrator is the norm for that. Yes, Adobe Illustrator is the norm at the moment. That's also what I'm using, but it's still not good, in my personal opinion. I did find a crochet stitch font that I can use in Adobe Illustrator to create charts. Yes, Adobe Illustrator, like, well, you probably wrote that before I said that. You use Stitch Fiddle, it's okay, not easy for charts. Yeah, again, I don't think right now there's a good program for that. I think, like, there are programs for that. None of them is good. Exactly, Annika. Even within the standardized abbreviations, there's a difference between magazines. We'll talk about it in a little bit, but you do need to understand the basics in order to be able to design. And you need to be able to put up a sketch. A sketch is not a diagram. A sketch is not a chart. A sketch is, I have a notepad here, this is my shawl. This is side A, this is side A2, and this would be B, and you know, this is a sketch, okay? A sketch is sketch your design, not put it into chart. That's in case it was not clear when I said that, but you do need to know how to sketch. So if I'm designing a basket, yeah. Okay, so this is my basket, and it's gonna have two handles, and here the diameter is 63 centimeters. Okay, so in this, this is not Baby Yoda, it's a basket. Okay, even within standardized abbreviation, yeah, I just read that. Adobe Illustrator isn't ideal, but since, yeah, exactly. If you are already used to using it, hi Amaris, then of course it is easier for you to use. Okay, so we said you have to be able to write crochet in crochet language. You have to be able to make a sketch, a basic sketch, and you need to be able to level your crochet. So say I design for this level, or my designs are for beginners, for advanced beginners, my designs are in US or UK terms, and so on. Yes, Alice. Okay, so then we have established that we are crochet designers, and we know how to write a crochet pattern and not just like explain, you know, do this for until it's long enough, but actually giving the instructions for each and every part of the pattern. And mathematicians that wanted to be Shakespeare came up with crochet patterns. I love that. I love that. I feel it's so true. Yeah, you have to be very good at math. That is definitely true. Okay, so we have established that we are designers, and we know what level we crochet in. We understand how crochet patterns need to be put into writing, what terms we use and how we use them. And we know what level more or less we design to, and we can very basically sketch Baby Yoda baskets. So how do we begin? It won't sag like the series. Oh, Alice, I love you so much. Okay, so what do we start? What's the first step? So the first step is not coming up with a design, believe it or not. Actually, it is better to not start with a design in mind, because crochet magazines work months ahead like any other magazine, okay? So the first step is, in fact, the call for submission from the magazine. Magazines will put out a submission call either on their website, their social media. You can sometimes sign up for their mailing list as a designer. If you go on the magazine website, you can search for their tab that says submissions and so on, and sign up for the mailing list, and then you will get an email that tells you whenever they have a submission call. And you can also, of course, if you're looking for those submission calls, then follow the magazine on different social media. And some magazines also have what they call an editor calendar, in which when they plan, those are mostly magazines that go monthly, that have a monthly or more often publication. They will have a yearly calendar with what is the theme of each issue along the year, and then you can apply to get their yearly design calendar and get a more clear idea of what they are looking for each issue of the magazine along the year. So the first step is the call for submissions. Whether it is you got it on the email, you saw it on their social media, you happened across it on their blog or the website, or you applied in the beginning of the year, got their yearly calendar, and decided that you want to choose a theme out of a specific month and design for it. That is the first step. In that call for submission or that editorial calendar, you will see the themes for each issue of the magazine. Most magazines have those. So they will look for specific types of patterns or patterns that revolve around a specific idea for each issue. Hi, Bree, welcome in. So that would be the theme of the magazine. It will, if it's called for submission, they will definitely have it in the call for submission. They will say for our issue of, fall 2024. I'm just coming up with stuff on the top of my head right now. Our theme is out of this world. And all the patterns will revolve around that theme, patterns and articles. Because some magazines, as I've said before, Kim, and that might be the kind of call for submissions that you might be more interested in. Some magazines are looking for articles or a how-to pieces for their magazine, or every once in a while they would put up an interview. So if you have an idea of someone that you want to interview, you can also submit that idea and say, I would love to make a piece about interviewing X. They are blah 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 blah, and I have this and that idea, and so on. So calls for submission, that is not necessarily just for patterns, even though we are mainly talking about patterns today. But for those of you who are interested in the general idea of crochet, like me, Yarniversity, the written version, and you can submit articles. Specifically, Kim, I would let you look into Yarnology. They are a Australian-based magazine, but they print, they do printed magazines, not online, and they are looking for writers, as for the last I checked. They do a lot of kind of different series, as well as Crochet World and what's the other issue from Annie's? Crochet World, and is it Crochet Now? No, it's not Crochet Now. Crochet, exclamation mark. They are also very often looking for different kinds of stuff, not just patterns. Math is your nemesis. Yeah, mine too. So they would put out their call for submission. They will say, this is the theme. And a lot of times it will come with a mood board. So a mood board is sort of like, a collection of pictures that give you the idea, the general idea of of the theme of the magazine. It can sometimes be colors, so specific, they will choose like a color palette that they want to go with. It can be just pictures of inspirations to, let's say the theme of the magazine, like I said, is out of this world, and they would have like pictures of galaxies and constellations, and to give you like the color feel of that, like blue, purple, green, or like big designs with a lot of flair, or they would put like pictures of, I don't know, spaceships and so on. Yeah. So that is the mood board. Now, the mood board is to give you, the designer, inspiration, which is what I was talking about before. I said you don't have to have a design in mind when you first apply. So before you wait for the call for submission, you don't have to already have a design in mind, because the mood board is designed to give you an idea. You will look at the mood board. There will also be pictures on the mood board of garments that are in the style of what they're looking for. So you will be able to see if the feel that they are looking for is more this or that, and they do not expect you to design what's in the mood board. So if the mood board has like a lady wearing a very big gown, that does not mean that they want you to design a gown. It means the style they are looking for in the designs is the style of that gown. So it's not like looking at the mood board and saying, oh, I see a lot of like, this is a summer issue and I see a lot of like coasters and stuff in the mood board. That does not mean we are looking for coasters, okay? It means these coasters are in the style that we are looking for. Okay, you guys talking to me. Okay, so that is the mood board, and you need to know how to approach the mood board and how to read the mood board, because like I said, you don't need to look at it and say, oh, I'm gonna make that, because that like they're looking for inspiration and originality. So if you look at the mood board and you see they have like a lot of a certain item, it does not mean that's what they want, but they want you to design something that goes with the feel of those items. So what's important to notice about the submission call, other than, you know, the theme of the magazine, so that you'll know that you're on point, and the mood board, so that you'll figure out more or less the colors and the style that they are going for that specific issue. You need to know what is the deadline. So the call for submission will say deadline to submit your design is X, and you need to submit your design by then. Most of the time they will give you like a month or something like that. And then they will also tell you how long after they will be choosing. Why is that important? Because a lot of times if your design wasn't chosen, you won't get like a "we did not choose your design" email. They just don't have time for that. They get tons of submissions. They cannot go one by one and tell everyone who didn't get in that they didn't get in. So it's either you got in or you get nothing. And that's why they also give you in the submission call the deadline on "we will choose until X," so that you know if you didn't get anything from them until then, your design probably was not picked. Exactly, Isaiah. So you need to know the deadline for the submission. What else the submission call will say is the release date of the magazine. Why is the release date of the magazine important? So that you'll know what kind of issue it is. Is it a summer issue? Is it a fall issue? Is it a spring? Is it a winter? Is it, is it a Christmas issue? Is it right before Halloween? So you need to know when this magazine is coming out. Most of the time, the call for submission will be a few months prior to, because it takes time to edit a magazine, to get everything in print. to get everything edited, you know, tech edited, printed, pictured, you know, samples modeled, and so on. And so you need to know when the release date is, so that the thing, whatever it is that you are designing, will fit the magazine. Because if it's a summer issue and you design a very heavy sweater, it might not exactly be what they are looking for. Even though it's not unheard of that there are very heavy sweater designs in a summer issue of a magazine, it's just, you know, it might not put you in the same bubble with the other designers. That's not to say that if your design doesn't 100% fit all the descriptions, you should not submit it. Sometimes, even if your design does not 100% fall within, you know, the description, you should still submit it, because who knows, maybe, you know, not submitting is giving up in advance. So even if you have a design in mind, but you don't think it falls exactly within the characteristics of what they asked for, does not mean that you should not design it anyway. Exactly. Don't use Halloween colors on Easter crochet bunnies. Exactly. Hi, Irene. Welcome in. So it doesn't have to fit 100%, but you do want to aim to fall within, you know, because they did give a guideline. So you don't want to intentionally be outside of the guideline. But if you have something that is like on the outer ranks of the guideline, you can still submit it. So there will be, like I said, there will be the closing date and the decision time. So they will tell you, you can submit until this date and we will decide until that date. And there will be the mood board, the theme, the release date of the magazine. And one more thing that you want to know is the finished product deadline. Because when submitting a pattern for a magazine, you're not just submitting your pattern. You also have to actually make whatever it is that you are designing and send your finished item, your sample, to them. And that is what they are going to photograph. So if your design is something like, I don't know, a pillowcase or a coaster or whatever, and you make that and send it in, then that's one thing. But if your design is a sweater or a dress or a hat or gloves or whatever, something wearable, then you should know that you are actually going to have to make that within the time limits that they are putting out in the submission call. So they're gonna say time to submit designs until X, this date. Decision making or submission, oh, they have a name for it and now it's outside my mind, but you understand the like they would decide which ones get into the magazine until that date. And then they have submit your finished edited design until X date and finished samples sent in by that date. So you will have actually 4 different dates in a submission call. Or 3. Could be that, you know, the sample and the finished item, finished written pattern are the same day. They may consider outside the lines as avant-garde. It might give it the edge from the... Yeah, that is correct. That's why I said, even if you're not right inside the lines of the submission call, you should still submit your design. Just, you know, take that into consideration and know that you are the like outer rims if we're going with the out of this world theme. Assessments, yes. Well, I do want to say that lately at least, more and more crochet magazines are using, not all, but more and more crochet magazines are using different size models and even sometimes male models, or again, depending on what magazine. It could be that you're making children's items and so on. But yeah, you gotta remember that if whatever it is that you have designed, if you submit your design is chosen, you have to actually make it. So if it's a blanket, if your design is a blanket, and you need to make a full-size picturable blanket for the magazine and send it into them, then you need to know by what date it should be there, because they will tell you, we will contact you to tell you that your design was chosen for the magazine until, I don't know, May 5th, okay? And you will need to send in your finished sample by July 1st. That means you have between May 5th and July 1st to make the item and send it in and make sure they got it. So if you are, for any reason, not unable to finish within that time, you should know so in advance and not submit, right? So if I don't know, if they say, let's say if it's a Christmas issue and they say the publication is in January, so they want to have the finished designs by the end of May so that they can have, the in-between months to get everything edited and so on. So you need to know that during, March, April, May, you will be sitting to make that blanket that you designed. And you can, it's important that you send it in time. Otherwise, your design won't be in the magazine. Are you designing protected by copyright? We will get to that, don't worry. I think the days of the standard skinny models are hopefully on the way out. Yeah, have you seen more it lately? I think it depends in the yeah, we will talk about that, don't worry. We're still only in the submission call part. So we got it, right? There is a submission call. The magazine puts out a call. They tell you what kind of mood, theme they are looking for. And then you need to come up with a design. So like I said, a lot of times it helps if you don't already have a design in mind. And then inspired by the mood board, you come up with a design, let's say a tank top. And you see that you can get it ready, like get the design written and get it made and send it in time. So everything works for you. Okay, so what do? You have to decide what you design. And one of the things that will help you to decide what exactly to design is, other than looking at the mood board, is studying the magazine. If you are submitting a design to Crochet World, it's a totally different aesthetics than if you are submitting a design to Interweave, which I think doesn't exist anymore. Interweave Crochet, or We Crochet, okay? Or Crochet Now. Each of them has a different design aesthetic, and I think we spoke about this when we did Yarniversity about choosing a crochet magazine. So I showed you guys different magazines and we talked about the style of each magazine. So you need to know the overall style of the magazine. Some magazines have a certain, build. So they would have 2 decorational items, 1 sweater or top or, skirt wearable, 1 big wearable, 3 or 4 accessories like hats, scarves, bags, and so on, and then something else like either menswear or blanket or children's or socks. Okay, so it really, that was just an example. That does not describe any specific magazine. But if you do already know what magazine you're designing for, then you should learn the style of the magazine before submitting a design, because you want your design to be in the style or the overall style of the magazine. For example, with Crochet World, they have sections in the magazine. So they have a how-to section. They have a, I think it's called done in one, right? Like a one ball project. And then they have beginner friendly. So they have different sections in the magazine. So you want to know what the different sections are, and you want to like design for one of these sections to fit in. We will talk about testing in a second. We don't publish patterns inside a magazine, but simply feature already published patterns in the library with, oh yeah, that's Yarnology. Oh, okay, now I see that you wrote inserted interesting info in Yarnology. All right, see you later, Harriet. Bye, thank you for being here. Yeah, okay, so that is what's important to take in mind when designing. And then, you know, after you have all of that, all you're left to is deciding what it is that you're making. Now, you don't actually have to design the whole item in order to submit it to the magazine. In order to submit something to the magazine, you only need a few things. So let's talk about that. You got the call for submission. Sorry, that was my keyboard. You got the call for submission. You checked out what they're looking for. You checked out the magazine. You realized the style. You checked out all the dates and saw that they work for you, and came up with an idea of what you want to do. And now comes the part of the design submission. So the design submission is actually you writing a submission to the magazine with your design, what it is that you want to design for that issue. I'm so happy, Kim. So what it is that you want to design for the issue. Like I said, you don't have to design at that point, at this point in time, after having the submission call and going through all the information. At that point in time, you still do not have to write a pattern. At this point, you have to submit a design. Some of the magazines have a submission form digital in their website, or they will have like a link to a digital submission form with different sections that you have to fill out. So they will ask you what's the name of the design, what is it, and then you'll have to say it's a cushion, it's a coaster, it's a tank top, it's a dress. Yeah. And then they will ask you tell us a little bit about it, and then you'll talk about your inspiration, you'll talk about the stitches that you want to use, and so on. So some of them will have a digital form to fill out, and that makes it a lot easier because then you just have to follow the section in the form and fill them out with your idea. And in the end, they will most likely ask you to add a PDF file, and if they specifically ask for PDF file, then it's very, very important that you do use that format. And some of them will also tell you how to name your PDF file so that they know how to refer to it. And so if it is a digitalized form, you just fill up the form, and in the end, when I tell you now add a PDF file with a sketch of the design, a scan of your swatch, or something like that, then you do that. Other magazines will tell you you have to submit your entire submission in a PDF form, which means that you write the entire submission on your own at home as a file, I don't know, Word or whatever, and then you convert it into a PDF file, and then you send the PDF file to them. Most magazines require the following. They will ask what it is that you design, of course, and they will ask for a sketch and a description. Now, a sketch I already explained to you. So, you know, I told you guys, like, I designed a triangular shawl. This is my sketch. But let's go for something a little bit more complicated. Let's say I designed coasters that look like fruits, because we had that a few weeks ago, right? So yeah, I'm just, you know, this is my coaster, and that's what it kind of looks like, a donut. Doesn't matter. A sketch, a very, very basic sketch of your design. And if it is a top, let's say it is again, my design skills are very, very basic. But let's say that you are designing a top where the top part of the top is like solid, and then you want to have some kind of like mesh design in the bottom. Yeah, like something like that. I'm just giving examples here. So you sketch, you know, some kind of top, and you like the top part will be solid and the bottom will have like an open mesh design. Very, very, very basic sketch, okay? Yes, exactly. We will talk about copyright in a second, don't worry. So they will ask you for a sketch of your design and then a few words about it. So you will put the sketch, and then you will write, this is a tank top that I designed because I was inspired by XYZ in the mood board, and it will be a summery, light, fun pattern. The top will be a solid part, and then the bottom will be an open mesh, very airy, flares out, and like a lot of positive ease and so on. Yeah, so you explain in words what the design is, and you add a sketch. And some, or let's say most magazines, at least the ones that I came across or looked into, they also ask for a swatch. They ask you to either take a good, well-lit picture of your swatch or scan it. So take your swatch, put it in a scanner, and scan it. That means that you will have to make a swatch using the stitches, or that you, not necessarily the ones that you will end up using, but what you have in mind. So let's say for our top, like I said, I will make a swatch that is divided in half. So I will make a 10 centimeters by 10 centimeters or 4 inches by 4 inches swatch that I will then divide in half. The bottom of it I will make in my open mesh design, and the top of it I will make in my solid design. It will look something like that, but you know, it will be crocheted, and I will wash it, block it, and then I will either take a picture of it or scan it in my scanner and add that to my PDF file so they can get a more visual picture of what the stitches in the design will look like. Do yarn companies who publish pattern look for that same type of format like magazines? Yes. It's pretty much the same whether it's a yarn company looking for designs or a crochet magazine. The difference is yarn companies will most likely like skip the whole mood board and everything thing. They will say we're looking for designers to design wearables, and then you can pretty much send them like any top or skirt or dress design that you have, because they're just looking for designs in general to go along with their yarns and not for a specific style or so on. They're just like, they have patterns on their website all year round, so you might have half of the process like cut off, but it's more or less the same. You still have to submit your designs and so on. Yeah, so you either have a formatted in an online format where you fill everything out, and in the end you just add a PDF file with your sketch and swatch, or you have to write the whole thing yourself and add the pictures of your sketch and swatch into it. A lot of times they will ask you what your inspiration was, or say a few words about the design, describe in words, what the design is. And then they will ask you for your links, places where they can see, your previous work, if you have any. They might want things like your Ravelry page. If you don't have designs yet, or if you don't have your own patterns that you sell anywhere yet where they can get an impression, at least, upload a few projects to Ravelry of things that you made from other people's patterns so that they can see your style, and then send them the link to your Ravelry. Or if you have a Facebook page with your business page, if you sell crochet things that you make, you can give them that. If you have Instagram, they really like Instagram now everywhere. So if you have Instagram and you often put pictures of things that you've crocheted, be it your own design or other people's design, you put that in. But they want to see your work, not necessarily your designs, but your aesthetic. So what kind of projects are you drawn to? What kind of style should they expect from a designer like you? So they will ask for your links. If someone like me, for example, I would probably give them my Instagram, my Facebook, my YouTube, my Etsy, where I sell my patterns and so on, so they can see the entire range of what I do. But if you don't, and you only operate on one of these channels, then just put the one that you have the most information about you in, the most examples for things that you do. So you put that in, and that is a way for them to get to know you better. And they will ask you for yarn suggestions. So you still don't have the pattern written at this point, okay? At this point, you have an idea. Like we said, you have an idea, you made a sketch, you made a swatch, and now you need to think, when we do make this finished project, what sort of yarn do we use? Let's say I designed, let's go ahead with, what we already started. So I designed this tank top. I did the swatch, I did everything, and now they ask for yarn options. That does not necessarily mean that would be the yarn that they would choose eventually, but I want to get an idea of what kind of yarn is this project worked with. So going on our already started idea here, I would write like, you can either write a specific yarn that you have in mind. Let's say, I don't know, Lion Brand Trubu. Yeah, that's their tencel yarn, right? Because I love tencel. Or you can go like, I don't have a specific yarn in mind, but a DK weight, some kind of DK weight cotton blend, preferably mercerized, so it has a little bit of shine to it. Yeah, so it can either be a specific yarn that you say, this would be the ideal yarn that I think working for this project, or you can say, I'm looking for this sort of yarn weight and this sort of fiber to go with this design. You have to be frank already, not necessarily. No, you don't necessarily have to have a following at all. Like I said, you can be a complete beginner. This could be your very first design, but you do need to have some. They do need to see something from you. So even like if you have a YouTube channel where you show things that you make, but you don't have a Ravelry page or whatever, then you can do that. But they are not going to go and watch each and every one of your videos because, like you said, they are busy people. So it helps if you have some kind of picture library. If you have an Etsy shop, even if you sell already crocheted items that you crocheted from other people's patterns patterns, but they can see your style. A Baby Yoda tank top. The Christmas kind. Oh no. I don't want to wear that. I'm sorry, I now realize I read your comment wrong. You asked, so you have to be prolific already, not necessarily a following. Yeah, no, you just have to. Okay. Yeah, exactly what Alice said. You need to have a design that meets exactly their need. But like what I said before still applies. You don't have to be like an established designer. You can have can be a total beginner and still, but they do need to see your style. But to answer that, yes, you do need to have a design that meets their needs. That's something that, like, answer that you can't just come off the top of your head and say, I want to do this. I mean, you can, like I said before. You can be like the out of rim person. Yes. That's what I said before. You need to have a showcase, but you don't have to have followers. That's what I was saying before. You have to have somewhere where they can see what you've made. I think yes, exactly. You actually can have. I think we are answering questions that she's not asking though, Alice. I think what I said at the beginning was correct. I think I did understand you the first time. When I said that, yeah, you don't have to be famous, but you do have to have somewhere where they can see what you make. It doesn't necessarily have to be your original designs, but they need to see how you work. Because in the end, even if your design is beautiful, you are the one making the sample that the model is going to wear. Yeah. Okay. So you fill out the form, or you write up the whole thing and send the PDF file. I'm saying PDF file, but what I said before applies. You have to stick to their format. So if they're asking you to send a Word document, send a Word document. Yeah. But I think most magazines and websites too, by the way, go for PDF files. Make sure that you name the files in the way they ask you to. A lot of times they will tell you send one file with this, one file of the swatch, and name it swatch with the same name of the first document. So the first document will be submission mesh tank top, and then the next one would be swatch mesh tank top, and the last one would be description and links mesh tank top. Yeah, something like that. It's just for them, so that when all the files go in their folders, they know what what goes with what, but they don't have to rename all the files. So stick to their format, stick to their naming. If they tell you how to name your files, stick to their naming. And make sure that you have included everything. That you have included a sketch if they ask for a sketch, that you have included a swatch if they ask for a swatch, that your submission does not miss anything of the things that they have asked for. And the last 2 points are, first of all, be on time. Of course, that's why the submission call has an end date for submission on it. If you do not submit within the timeline that they give, they're just not going to consider you. And you can submit multiple ideas. So let's say the mood board inspired you so much, or the theme of the magazine inspired you so much, and you came up with 3 or 4 different designs. You can submit all of them. There is no limit to the amount of submissions that you can submit to one issue. Okay. So just, you know, you have more ideas, submit multiple ideas. The more ideas that you submit, the bigger chance, of course, that they will choose one of your designs. And you can, like Alice said, have the luck of the Irish, and they will actually choose 2 of your designs for the same magazine. That happens two, 3, 4, I don't know. But that happens. So especially if you work with, if like I said in the beginning, if you're submitting to a magazine that has a yearly design calendar, what they call an editor calendar, editorial calendar. Sorry. So if you're submitting to one of these and you can submit multiple and to multiple months. So if they say our April issue will be all about spring and our May issue will be inspired by rainbows, I don't know, yeah. So you can design multiple designs that connect to multiple themes throughout the year. And of course, the more you submit, the bigger chance. No, it doesn't necessarily mean that they will choose one of your designs, but you have shown them more options. Okay, so you got the design ready, you filled out all the forms, you put everything in writing, you wrote the description of what it is, you have a sketch, you have a swatch, you have the PDF file, you submitted everything, and now what? Well, now you wait. Like we said in the submission call, there is a deadline, and after that deadline, there is the date until which they will tell you if your design has been accepted or not. You need to take into consideration that they get submissions from many designers. Some of them, like we said, submit more than just one design per submission call. So they have a lot to look at. And then once they look at all the designs, they need to build the magazine. So let's say they are working on that issue that they just did the submission call for. They got all the designs, ideas from all the designers, and now they have to sit with all of them in front of them and say, okay, let's feature 3 tops. Let's look at all the tops that we got. Which one of these? And then which one of these will work well with other? So they have to build the magazine. They have to already build up what that finished magazine will have. How many, like I said, how many wearables, how many accessories, how many, if it's a magazine that does like home decorations or amigurumi, do we feature one amigurumi in each magazine? So which one of all these designs that were accepted do we want? They have to build up the magazine. So it takes time to come back and tell the ones that were chosen that they were chosen. So there are many designers and there's a lot of work. So you got to be very patient. Don't be rude and don't nudge. Okay, they don't like that. They told you when they will reach out to the designers that were chosen, and they're not gonna reach out to you if you were not chosen. I said that in the beginning too. They don't have time. They don't have time to start writing everyone. This time we did not accept your design. Okay? So, up until now, are you guys still with me? Are you guys still here? Wake up, everyone. Yeah, hi. If you haven't yet, please don't forget to hit the thumbs up. If you're not to subscribe down below. Want to join the membership program, join button. Say hi in the chat if you're still awake. Yeah, don't nudge. Exactly. Would it help to know the color trends for that year, fashion, etc. for garments? Do they care? No, we will talk about yarn selection in a second. The final yarn selection is from them. So even if you submitted a design in pink. If it doesn't have to be pink, like if it's not like a design of a flamingo, let's say this way, then they might tell you what color to use. Do preferred designers get first choice? Do you think? Don't have to answer. There are some magazines who there are some magazines who have designers that they already know. I don't want to say preferred designers, but like ones that they've already worked with before, featured before, so they know who they are and how they work and that they can count on them. And it might be that they give them, you know, advantage over other people. But I don't think that if a designer that they worked with often submits something that does not work with the style, so that they will choose them on top of someone else. I think if they submitted a good design that works with whatever they were asked for, and that designer stands head to head with another designer that they don't know, then comes the question, will they give a chance to the new designer or not? And that really does depend on the magazine. I'm not gonna like badmouth anyone, but like I said, I did like a very deep dive into this, from speaking to different designers that have been featured in magazines to a specific inside person that I have in one of the magazines. So I can tell you like that I have heard from designers who try to apply to a very specific magazine, and all of them mentioned the same magazine, that magazine is not very friendly to newcomers. I'm not going to badmouth that magazine, so I'm not going to tell you which one it is, but from what I understand, it does exist here and there, of course, like everywhere else, you know, it's not just the crochet world. That's good. It's good that you ask questions, because other people might want to ask the questions but don't feel comfortable, and it's very, very good, and I welcome questions. Whatever design meets their needs, the best gets chosen. Yeah, exactly. Even if you submit it a lot of time. If they're not, exactly, if they know you and they've worked with you before and they know that you are reliable and you have a good style and it fits their magazine, so sometimes they will choose the same designer over and over again, not because they prefer them on top of other people, but because their style is really goes along with the magazine, and they keep producing these designs that are perfect for their, I don't know, cover. Of course, it's natural that they have favorites. Exactly, they should be aware. So before moving on, we got to that point in the live where, you know, we spoke about everything that is before, and now you've submitted, and now you wait. So while we wait for a result from the magazine, let's talk about today's giveaway. So today's giveaway is going to work, you know, just like every week. You come back to the live and you leave a comment down below, and in today's comment I just want you to, you know, tell me something that has to do with today's topic. So don't just like comment any comment something that has to do with the topic of today's live, that has to do with submissions to a magazine or writing patterns in general. And I will show you the prize that we will be giving away next week. So next week on Yarniversity, we will choose the winner. Glenda at Creative Grandma has been published several times. Yes, I know. She's also been published several times in the same magazine, right? Exactly. They have to make money to stay in publications. They can't just like feature anyone. All right. So what we are playing for today. So the giveaway for this week is what I like to call the bag of unclaimed prizes. This bag is full. I know it doesn't, like, it looks light, but there's a lot of stuff inside. And all of them, including the bag itself, are unclaimed prizes from the past year. Okay? You guys know I'm in the process of cleaning out my room. I cleaned up cupboards behind me, and I always tell you guys, there's also like a wall. The wall on the other side, what's behind the camera, is also the entire wall is a cabinet. So I emptied out that cabinet this week. And there were like, you know, things behind and things in boxes and so on. So I found things like unclaimed prizes for the past year. And the bag itself, included with everything that's inside it, that would be the prize for the winner this week. Okay, so you come back to the video once it goes into replay, leave a comment that has something to do with, you know, crochet design, designing patterns, or submitting your design to a magazine or to a website. If you have experience with it, you can also, you know, tell me in the comment your experience with submitting your design. And next week we will choose a winner for that bag full of prizes. It looks quite heavy. It is very full, I gotta say. And there are 2 things that don't fit in the bag, so they'll come with it too. Yes, exactly. It's a mystery prize of prizes. It's a mystery prize of prizes. Yes. It's the one prize to rule them all. Okay, so we clarified this week's giveaway. By the way, if you haven't yet entered for last week's giveaway yet, by the end of today's live. Okay, so we submitted our design. We have waited the appropriate time, and now it is time to find out whether or not our design was accepted. So let's start from the bad news. Let's say our design was not accepted. Wah, 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 right? Well, it's fine, you know. We learn from everything in our lives. And if it didn't get accepted, it does not necessarily mean that your design is not good. Just because the magazine didn't accept it into their issue does not mean that the idea wasn't good, or your design wasn't good, or your swatch wasn't good. It doesn't in general necessarily say anything bad about you. It can say a lot of different things. It can mean that it just didn't fit the style of the magazines or the expectations of the magazines. You know, just generally didn't fit. It could be that your submission had info missing. You remember what I was saying before? Make sure that everything that they ask in the submission, you actually submit. Maybe you thought, I don't need a swatch for that kind of project, and you decided not to do it or something like that. Or I wrote that it's all in single crochet. Why do they need a swatch of single crochets for, or whatever? Exactly. Tear it down. I'm done. No, it does not mean that. It means that maybe something was wrong with the submission itself. Maybe it just didn't fit what they were looking for. Maybe other submissions were better, were more fitting. If each magazine only features, I don't know, 10 designs, and out of those designs only 2 are a wearable, and we submitted our top, so they have to choose 2 wearables out of the mountains of wearable submissions that they got, right? So it doesn't necessarily mean our wasn't good. It just means that others were more fitting, or better, more complete, and so on. Now, some of you have mentioned, do known designers get priority? Like I said, sometimes they do. Maybe, you know, just bad luck. That one designer that they work with every time designed the same type of project that you did. You fell on the same slot as they, and they went for the designer that they already know and, you know, are accustomed to working with. That can happen too. Or it could be that others were just better fitted. You know, the other ideas were just better fitted for the aesthetics of the magazine, for the style of the magazine, for the theme that they were going for, right? It's okay, Fiona. Don't worry about that. Yeah, so it could be that so it could be a lot of different things. But like I said, it does not mean that you're not talented. It does not mean that your design is not good. Anyway, you should not like take that as a, oh my God, the magazine did not like it, so it's not worth anything. If anything, you should probably still design it. You know, that thing that you submitted, you should still go ahead and design it. You can sell it on your Etsy shop. You can sell it on your Ravelry. You know, you could go ahead with the design yourself, and or submit it next time to a different magazine. You know, like I said, you should really shoot in all direction when it comes to from what I spoke to other designers who have been published in different magazines. You should really like shoot in all directions. Maybe that didn't fit this submission call, but maybe in 2 months a different magazine will have a submission call, and it just so happens that they have a totally different thing, but that design aesthetic that you went with totally fits their theme as well. That is why the prep work for the submission is important. Yes, exactly. It is. Like I said, you have to like really have everything in it. But even if you had everything in it and you did everything perfect, it could be that it didn't get accepted. And if it didn't get accepted, it doesn't necessarily says anything about your design or you as a designer. It could just mean that they simply had 1,000 submissions for crochet tops for that magazine, and they had to choose just 3 because they cannot have a magazine with 1,000 tops. Okay. But yeah, let's go with our design. We made this for the, I don't know, this magazine's call for submission for tropical island theme, and in a few months a different magazine comes up with a different theme, and their theme is I don't know, what can this top also be? Easy breezy, I don't know, something like that. And hey, my design fits there too, or maybe their design is like crochet nets. I don't know, you know, their theme is something different, but my design still fits. So, you know, just submit it to a different place, and make sure that your submission is full. Maybe a different magazine will pick it up, right? But definitely don't stop designing, and don't like give up just because one magazine didn't accept your design or didn't reply to your submission. You do have to take into consideration that you are not the only person that submitted a design. Exactly. We also, yeah, like Debbie says, we don't all like every pattern in a magazine, right? We have different styles. Okay, so, but let's say that we were lucky and our design was accepted into the magazine. Well, some would say in that case, it's even worse. Because if you did get accepted, well, now you actually have to write the pattern and make the sample. So once you get accepted, once your design gets commissioned by the magazine, you get a ton of information from them. You will get a ton of material. You will need to read through all the material that they sent you. They will send you the magazine's requirements for how to, the format of writing. They will send you a sizing chart. So if you design a sweater, you have to make sure that you write it in all the sizes that the magazine features in the way that they ask for the sizes to be specified. And they will also say, we consider a size small anything between this and that. We consider it size medium, and you have to measure that your design falls within this, and so on. So there's a lot of work with sizing. You have to make sure that your design fits the format, the way they write things. Is this a magazine that says chain 3, double crochet in the next stitch? Or do they require you to say chain 3 counts as first double crochet in next stitch? Or do they require you to write chain 3, CH3, or 3 chains? Every magazine has a different writing style. How do they call, how do they specify multiples, for example? That's one designer told me that is very different between different magazines. How do they specify? Do they say repeat this for a total of 10 times, or repeat this 9 more times? So it is the same thing, essentially. You still end up making 10, but there's a difference between make this and then make 9 more, or make this 10 times in the writing terms. Yeah. So you will have to read through the entire material that they send you, everything, to understand the style of writing that they want, to understand how, in what terms the pattern should be written, and to understand sizing. How do specific sizes need to be specified, and when you write your patterns, to what extent of sizes should you calculate it, and how to calculate, the multiples, and so on. Yes. Yes, you have to math. So you have to learn and understand what they want you to do. And of course you have to understand they will tell you which one of your design, if you submitted multiple designs, so they will tell you which design was chosen. And of course, if it was a editorial calendar, they will tell you for which issue is it that you are designing for. And then they will give you the due date for the design and the sample, as I've said in the beginning when we talked about the call for submissions. You have to make sure that your design, the pattern that you are writing, as well as the sample that you have to make. You have to make the design. I told you they will tell you what size to make it in. And you have to make it and send it in. And you have to make sure that you do all that in time. So yeah, as I've said, included in the materials that they will send you, there will be sizes, the format in which things have to be written. Some of them will ask you to send pictures of the design before you send in the sample, to take pictures of it at home, so that when they get the samples, they can figure out which is the front and which is the back. Or they will ask you to, once you make the sample, mark the front. So put like a little pin or something that says front on it, so that when the model wears it, she will wear the front at the front. They will ask you for different instructions, if there are specific instructions on how that design should be photographed. Should it be photographed from front and from behind? Does it have like two different sizes? Does this shirt or top that we are designing has two different designs on the front and the back? Is it important that you will see both? Is it a clutch bag? Should you also show what it looks on the inside? So instructions. Then, as I've said, the format, how to write the pattern so it will fit into the style of the magazine. They will also let you know how much they are paying you, because of course they pay for you to design, they commission your design. So they'll tell you what the fee is, how much you will get, and they'll also tell you how you will be paid. Is it bank transfer? Is it PayPal? How do they pay? Check? I don't know. And when. And take into consideration that most magazines only pay after the publication. So they don't pay you when they commission the design. You only get paid after the magazine is published. And depending on what magazine it is, it can be anywhere between months or years, before. So if you are submitting now, spring 2022, to a magazine that publicates in spring 2023, you will only be paid after issue spring 2023 was published. Yeah. So you need to take all that into consideration. They don't pay you for the time that you're going to sit and design and make it. They're going to pay you after it's published. Wondering if the pattern creator is paid by the publication for their submitted chosen design, and is the pay worth the... Okay, so I just answered that. Okay, they will also send you well, so you don't have to be curious about that. Every magazine that I looked into has it listed on their website or on their submission call. They would say the fee is anywhere between X and Y. And depending on, of course, how complex the design is, if you are designing something that features 10 different sizes, then of course they will have larger compensation. If you're designing something that's one size, it will probably not be as high. Also, depending on how many pages, like how long the pattern is, how many pages in the magazine does it take? If it's a pattern that takes 5 pages in the magazine, or is it a pattern that takes 1 page? So depending on how complex the design is and how long the pattern is, the compensation would be fitting. But every magazine has their own rating system, and most of them are very open about it. So they would straight up say, we pay anything between this and that. And once you get commissioned, they will tell you how much exactly they have evaluated your design. Some do pay on acceptance, says Mocha, or it's half upon acceptance and half at publication. I just reviewed contracts for several designers and I was shocked by that. I think from what I understood from the designers that I talked to, the majority pay either half and half or after the publication. So the majority of the magazines don't pay in advance. Okay, so like, if you just need a number, I've heard of designers that got anywhere between $50 and $250. But again, that was like, there's a lot in between. Hi, Lacey. That's okay. Welcome in. So another thing they will send you is the designer agreement, and that is where, all the rules are specified. You guys asked before about copyright and so on. So when a magazine issues or commissions your design, what they do is they own the rights for the design for a specified amount of time, and that will be written in the designer agreement. It's different with each magazine. Some magazines, only get, so they would say, we commission this, and for this duration of time, let's say from publication date until 6 months later, we own the rights, and after 6 months the rights return to the designer. So that means that after 6 months you can sell the pattern on your Etsy shop Ravelry or whatever. But for that duration of the time that the magazine owns the rights to the pattern, you are not allowed to publish it anywhere else. Yeah, right. Crime boss is sometimes easier to work with. Yeah, but as I've said, they own the rights to the pattern for a specified amount of time, and the designer agreement will tell you for how long. Yes, your name is on the design. So, of course, when the design is published in the magazine, it does say designed by X. And, you know, you are credited as the designer, but you are not allowed to sell the design on your own for the specified amount of time. Yes, your name is on there. And some magazines, when they are nice, they will send you the tech edited version of the pattern, so that when you do get the rights back to the pattern and want to sell it, you can sell an already tech edited pattern. That's a part of the compensation. Not all magazines do that, some do, and that helps a lot because you don't have to like tech edit your pattern in order to make it into a PDF file and, you know, sell it. Okay, so they send you the designer agreement with all the details, you know, how much are they paying you and how long are they holding the rights and when exactly do rights reverse back to you. They might also have, you know, like little prints such as, even though, you know, after 6 months the rights to the pattern go back to you, the magazine still is allowed to republish it as they like. I mean, even though after 6 months you get the rights back and you can sell the pattern on your website, if in 3 years they decide to do a throwback magazine, look at our favorite designs from the past 3 years or whatever, they are allowed to publish it again. Or they are allowed to publish the pattern on their website, for example, things like that. But that would all be in the designer agreement, which before you sign, you should of course read. You would think anything artistic is the same as to getting the job. Yeah. Sounds like a lot of work for little money. Is it worth it? It depends what you're going for. Do you want to be published in the magazine to get your name out there or for the money? Obviously, if you are an established designer who already has a follower and a lot of people buying your patterns, you might not need that publication in a magazine. Maybe you make more money just selling your patterns on your website, and blocking the rights to a design for 6 months might actually lose your money. But if your name is not out there and everyone knows it and are like, you know, looking for your designs and Googling J-hook crochet, you know, then maybe you do need that platform to get this exposure, to start out, you know, to have people say, oh, I really like her style, let's look her up, you know. Yeah, exactly. I'm already taking over the world. All right. So after reading through all that, you know, reading through everything that they want from you, everything that you need to do, and all the, you know, you've read through the designer agreement, you know how much you're gonna get paid and what you're allowed and not allowed to do, comes the fun part, which is getting yarn. The magazine will source yarn for the design, and you know, if you are the one making the sample, sending it in, then the magazine will send you the yarn to make your pattern. So what they would do is they will give you yarn options. They will say, okay, you specified this and that yarn, or you specified you want this weight and this sort of fiber, and we came up with these 3 options, 1, 2, 3. Which one of these would you like, and how much of it would you need? So you suggest yarn, but they choose the yarn. So you remember when we said when you put in your design submission, you give yarn choices. You say, I think this design is fitting for that yarn, or you say a style of yarn that you think it's fitting for. Now comes the time where the magazine says, okay, we are going to use yarn X. Here is the specs of the yarn. How much of it do you need in order to complete your design? Not just complete, like make it, but also, you know, the whole design process, because you're probably going to like try it out a few different ways and so on, because you're writing down the pattern. So how much yarn do you need in order to make this a finished design? And then they will send it to you. Yeah, a dictatorship. There's also the ability to say you have a design that has been published in a magazine. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying. No, I want to believe no one gets that. Exactly. Once, you know, you get the yarn from the magazine, then comes making the item and writing the pattern. You know, you make it to the specification they said. They told you make it in this or that size. And you, of course, write the pattern down to their requirements, fitting their format and their writing style. Some magazines will ask you to also add schematics. You remember our doodle? So if your design requires schematics in order to convey to the reader how big this will be when it's finished, then, you know, they will ask you to also add schematics. If your design includes any kind of color work, they might ask you to include schematics of the color work, you know, of the pattern with the different colors. If there are any special stitches that your pattern involves, they will ask you to write down those special stitches and how they are worked. And of course, specifies all the different sizes. This is where testing comes to play. The magazine does not supply pattern testing. If you want to test your patterns, it's, you know, on your own time. You have to find testers and you have to do the testing process on your own. So if you are meaning to design a sweater that comes in 5 different sizes and you need to find testers for the 5 sizes, you need to be very quick in order to make it all in time for the deadline. And of course, the magazine does not care for that. Like, they don't pay for that. You have to do it on your own, and of course figure out the sizing. So if you are making one size and you have to figure out the stitch count for all the other sizes, and you need to do testing in order to do that, that's all you. Those are all things that us designer, we do that anyway. Yeah, so I mean, that's not something that you only have to do because you publish in a magazine. When I write up a pattern of a wearable and I publish it in my Etsy to sell, I go through this whole process too. So I also have to write the pattern in all the different sizes, and I also have to have it tested in all the different sizes before I release it. I can't just assume that you will need to add 2 more repetitions for every size and, you know, release it like this. I have to have people test it and test that it does work for every different size. But what you need to know is when you do that for a magazine, it's at, you know, their timeline. When you do it for yourself, for a pattern that you want to to publish, then you choose the timeline. But when it comes from the magazine, they have a very specific timeline that you have to tend to. And of course, in the end, you have to send them everything. Send the files, the written, finished, edited pattern to fit their style, and the finished item that you have made, and it has to get to them in the timeline that they have set. So if they said finished items to be received by them by 31st of August, then you have to make sure that you send them like enough time in advance for it to get to them by the 31st of August. And always when you send in the item, of course, send it tracked so that there is no issues of the item that you have made being, you know, lost in the mail or something like that. Always send the items tracked. After the magazine gets your pattern and the finished item, they will go over it to tech edit it to fit into the magazine, to write it down into the format of the magazine. And they might have follow-up questions. They got whatever it is that you made. They got the written pattern. They went through it to, fit things together, and something doesn't quite add up, or they need more additional information, or they saw it and something's missing and they want you to say where exactly. I don't know, maybe you specified that here in the mesh part that we made, you use a larger hook, but you didn't say at the beginning of the pattern 2 different hook sizes. Yeah. Or maybe you here in the opening you said make a round of single crochets to to finish up the pattern. You say make a round of single crochet around the neckline to finish, to make a nice finish, but you didn't specify how many single crochets in each stitch and so on. So if they have like follow-up, I think Jada and Stitches just went live. Oh, I don't care. So if they have any follow-up questions, that's when they will ask them in order to make sure that the finished written pattern in the magazine is up to, the standards that they're looking for. Okay, so now it's done. You sent everything in, you answered all the questions, and now you're waiting. Now you wait. You wait for the publication. Sometimes it can be like a month or 2, and sometimes it can take, like I said, up to a year. Hi Dora, thanks, that's a shawl. So now we are looking at the publication. When is the publication date, and when are the rights reverting to back to the designer is something that's important to you. If it's a magazine that's published on a regular basis, so every 10th of the month or whatever, then you know exactly the publication date. But if it is like a once or 2 times a year magazine and they don't have a specific issue date, then you might want to, you might be sitting there like, oh, when is it coming out already? When is it coming? And so on. Yes, waiting again. I know it is a lot of work, Mary Bell. I also interviewing all the designers and talking to the people in the magazines. I felt the same. I was like, oof. To everyone who does that, respect. Like now, every time I pick up a crochet magazine and I see a pattern of a sweater, I'm just thinking, oh my God, the designer spent months, right? No, you test. You are in charge of testing. If you want testing, you know, you can also, you know, put your design without testing, but then they will have more follow-up questions once they get it, because they don't test your pattern, but they do make sure everything works up. So they would read up your pattern. They are experienced in that, you know, that's why they work at the magazine, and they will make sure there's nothing like that does not make sense in the pattern, that they're not just putting out like but I have come across, and I have heard from other people also, that they did come across mistakes in magazines. So that does happen, but you don't want it to happen in your pattern, right? Yes, exactly, Debbie. What I meant was, this is like, it's a lot of work, and us designers, when we design, we do all that work anyway. The only difference is that now you do that work for someone else. Like you do it, and then it doesn't go directly to you. So it's not directly goes on my Etsy and I instantly start making money off of it. Like, it first goes to the magazine and they make money off of it. Becoming a tester might be more interesting. You can't even follow a pattern the right size. Never mind, make a pattern the right size. Well, it's not for all of us. So yeah, like I said, they do have people who go over it to make sure it makes sense, but they don't have people sitting down making it, because otherwise they wouldn't ask you to make this, you know, to make the sample. Exactly. They make sure that it makes sense. All right. So what happens afterwards? It gets published, and a certain amount of time afterwards, you get paid, or you get the rest of your pay. You know, if you got half and half, you get paid. Yay! After a certain time, rights revert to you, and you can sell your design. And sometimes people will be like seeing the design months later, you know, because someone showed it or whatever, and it will be, oh, where can I find the design? I mean, it's already 6 months after the magazine was published, and you're like, so now you can get it directly from me. And of course, if it's a printed magazine, then one of the perks of being a designer is that you get a copy. Isn't that fun? So you get a copy of the magazine with your pattern in it, and you can like display it proudly to everyone. And yeah, and then that is it. That is the story from beginning to end of publishing in a magazine. I hope that you all have a better understanding of how much work goes into it. And like I said, most of these stuff that I've mentioned, us designers, we go through it anyway. The only difference with a magazine is that you do it like for someone else, or in order for someone else to like it first before other people see it. But if you're a crochet designer, you already go through this entire process anyway with each one of your designs, so you should already be used to it. Designing for a designer would be rewarding. You love crochet and knitting, but a designer you're not. Mocha is saying it's cool for the street cred, but one-time payment for all that work and losing the rights to the pattern mostly forever isn't worth it to me. I'd rather just grind it out on my website and Etsy. I agree, Mocha. I think that for a lot of designers, okay, so you guys all know that I'm friends with Christelle Riley Watts. She designed the Abigail fairy dress. There is a tutorial for it on my channel, but she is the designer and she owns the right to the pattern. A while ago, she told me that a certain crochet magazine has approached her. They want to include the Abigail fairy dress in the magazine. And we talked about it back and forth because she wanted to discuss with someone what would that mean to her. That would mean that for that duration that the magazine requests, the rights to the pattern, they belong to them. So she had to, calculate how many sales of the patterns does she make in that amount of time that the magazine will take over the rights, and does it worth it? Like what they what they offer her for the pattern, does it worth it? Because if she already owns the pattern and it's a selling pattern, a top selling pattern that a lot of people buy, and she would essentially be losing that money because during the time that the magazine owns the rights, she is not allowed to sell it on any of her networks. So that means that for that amount of time, she has to remove the pattern from all of her media and let them have it for, I don't know, 3 months, 6 months, whatever they want. And so they have to compensate her enough. But that is a different issue here, because with her you already have a design that is already selling, and she is a designer that already sells design and already like have a name for herself. So the question is, if you are a designer that already has a name for yourself and already have a following and already have so many people coming and buying your design on a daily basis, does it worth it for you to put a design into a magazine when you would have made a lot more money had you sold it yourself? So here is, this is, every designer has to decide for themselves if having their name published in the magazine is more prestige, or, having the money is more. So that's, every designer asks themselves. Do you get your item that you made back? Some, I think they ask you. Some of them, they send, like, they ask you, do you want it back? And if you want it back, they will send it back to you. Mocha. Yeah, like ghost designing. Exactly. Ghost design. You would think that it would be tough to have a design that you can't show, then continue forward independently, since our experience often affect the next design. I have authored a book and it was a huge slog. Was it slog? And the pay was okay. Street cred was okay, but the most value was in learning the process to see. Yeah, a lot of times, you as a designer, you gain something from the process that's not necessarily the money or like the prestige, like my name out there. I can tell you that just from researching this topic, just from talking to all the designers that have different designs published in different places, and just from talking to the people who work for the different magazines and get all the submissions and have to go through them and edit the magazine and so on, I've learned a lot just from learning about how it works. So sometimes, you have to decide what's more important for you. I do know a lot of designers who don't who say, I'm already an established name, so why should I do that? I mean, everybody already knows me. But you yourself, someone here in the chat mentioned Glenda from Creative Grandma. I don't think there's any doubt that she is an established designer, that she has a huge following and everyone knows her and knows that she's a good designer. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure she does not need to have her name in a magazine in order to, have people acknowledge her. So there must be a different, reason why she does that. So, each of us gets something else from the experience. You could realistically see yourself publishing a crochet or knit design way more than publishing a story or something. Yeah, I get that. Yes, it is, exactly, it is. It's a huge effort. It's, but designing anything really is a huge effort. Even when I design for my, for my own Etsy shop, it's still a huge effort. Every design that you make is still a huge effort. Even if you, I made a crochet child. First of all, I made it. Then I was like, okay, now I really like it, so let's write the pattern down. So I wrote the pattern down, then I had to make it again following my own pattern to see that the pattern works. And now I go into testing, like I said in the beginning of today's live. You go into testing, then you go into the testing process. And then testing is done, and you have to edit your pattern according to the notes that you got from the testers. And so you do go through all that process anyway, you know, choosing the yarn. So okay, maybe with the magazine it's different because the magazine chooses the yarn for you, but you also, when you know, you also have to choose the yarn and write it into the pattern. What yarn would you recommend to make that? Us as designers, we go through that entire process anyway. So like I said, what you get from it is the learning process of how it works to design for a magazine. And also, you know, each of us gets something else. Some of us say, oh, we want to, like, I really want to be published. And maybe some people, you know, wouldn't ever get to me and my Etsy shop and, I don't know, my Instagram, my YouTube channel, to those of us who have it, and so on, unless they read about me in some magazine. Some people are like that, you know. Some people prefer the printed word, right? And some of us don't care. Like, we're not looking for more followers. We just, you know, want to reach more people. And some people don't reach my Etsy shop, or maybe some people don't pay for separate patterns. Maybe some people like to buy a magazine and have a collection of patterns that are like around a certain theme once a month, and they don't necessarily also go to different websites and buy separate patterns. And maybe I just want to, you know, reach a larger audience and you know, have more people liking my patterns, and not just. So I'm not talking about myself. I'm saying like different examples to why different designers might do that, even though it's a lot of work. Your book is in a different industry, but it was over 150 designs, including in the book. And the time it took to write the book took away from time that I would spend producing more designs to sell. Yeah, well, that's a different issue already. Alice. You have misheard that terribly. Well, yeah, but Carrie, you know me, so like, I don't know how many people randomly happen upon my Etsy. I think the majority of the people who come to my Etsy shop are people who first of all come across my YouTube channel, I think. I don't think a lot of people like randomly happen upon my Etsy shop and suddenly like, oh, she designs nicely, I kind of like that. Okay. So, we went through the whole process. Do you guys have any questions? There's not a lot of people here now, so you can ask, like, you know, you have my undivided attention. It's not like a huge class and tons of people talking in the back. And you have me for like 10 more minutes. So is there anything specific that you guys would still like to know? Don't do it to get paid, do it for publicity and other reasons. Just saying you're not going to get rich. Yeah, exactly. You're not going to get rich publishing in magazines. That is correct. You call yourself an artist because you work patterns or how to make it out, but maybe cheap is the word. You call yourself an artist because you work patterns or how to make it. Oh, like you mean you make out your own pattern, like you figure it out in your own instead of like buying patterns. It's not cheap. That's being a crocheter. Alice. Sorry to burst that bubble for anyone that thinks that authors, designers get. Oh no, definitely no. I don't think anyone, any designer gets rich off of that. Lacey says, I've been seeing your yarn in Etsy ads on Instagram. Really? That is interesting. I never get my own ads. That's funny. How is the moving going? Hard. It's a pain in the behind. I can't wait for it to be behind me. Once you move, how much time will you be taking away from your channel, or will there be minimal interruptions. So for the duration of the moves, which will most likely be July, August, because I mean, we are flying on the 13th of July. I am assuming that about 2 weeks prior to the move and about 3 to 4 weeks after we get there, I won't be able to put out any content because we will just be too busy. But once we are set in our new house and the kids start going to school and kindergarten there, and me and my husband start our new jobs, I'm pretty sure that we will go back to regular Yarniversity schedule, plus maybe one video during the week, which is pretty much what's happening now. Any unclaimed prizes that stay unclaimed before the move, I'll send them to. That's okay. You don't, like I said, I very rarely buy patterns. I think there's like maybe 2 or 3 designers whose patterns I really like and would pay for, but the rest, I mean, most of what I make is my own design anyway, so. You're welcome. I have fun doing research. Will you still have Etsy in Israel? Yes, my Etsy shop stays open. Like I said, probably for the duration of the move. So like July and August, there won't be any physical items for sale on Etsy. So they will only be the digital patterns, which Etsy does that all automatic. So I don't have to actually do anything. So if anyone didn't get that, like when you buy a pattern from me on Etsy, Etsy sends the pattern automatically. I don't sit and send my pattern to each and every person. Okay, so like I'm just making sure that you guys all know that. But probably like the digital items on Etsy will remain available for the duration of the move as well. But like physical items will only be put on there once I'm settled and am able to start shipping things out again. Can anyone apply? Are there no qualifications required for designing? I explained at the beginning of today's live that as long as you have the knowledge required, so you know how to write written crochet patterns in the right terms, and you know what level to specify what design level you're designing to, then anyone can submit. Can you turn around so I can snatch some? I'm not looking. Do it quickly. Did you get something good? I hope you got something good. Thank you all for the wishes. You really love to design things, but God above, I hate writing it out. Yeah, well, a lot of people like to just, wing whatever it is they're making. Like make a, I don't know, beanie, scarf, whatever, just wing it. And I mean, the only reason you'll have to write it is if you mean to actually publish it, like either on your own or through a magazine. If you like selling it on a shop or whatever, then you have to actually write the pattern. But there are a lot of people who just, crochet for themselves and they don't need patterns, and that's fine. Debbie, there will be a yarn club in July, August, and I was gonna talk about that next month. What's going to happen for July, August is that the yarn for July will be shipped in the beginning of July. So the pre-order for July will actually happen in June. I will explain all of that again in June, so you don't have to remember it now. And at the beginning of July, the July Yarn Club will be shipped out. And August will actually be shipped out at the end of August. But it will already be shipped out of Israel. Etsy, sending patterns. I cannot tell you how many times I've gotten an angry email because I didn't send a pattern person bought on Etsy. Mocha, I can't. Okay, I'm gonna say something that some people might get annoyed at me, but I don't know how to say it in a less obvious way. But if you don't know how Etsy works, don't buy patterns on Etsy. We, the designers, we upload the pattern to Etsy, and when you buy the pattern on Etsy send you a confirmation with a link, and you have to press that link to download your pattern. And if you can't do that, you have to go to your profile on Etsy and go to your purchased items and find the pattern that you purchased and press download. But it has nothing to do with the designer. And Mocha, it's not your fault that people can't figure it out. when people contact me and say, I bought the pattern and I didn't get it, I tell them check your email for the Etsy confirmation, or go to your profile and download the file. It's not up to me. I can't do anything. You can't wait. I can't wait to see my new place. Yeah, exactly. I would love to just teleport. You're going into the Yarniversity. You start writing patterns for your own wearables, but you get carried away crocheting and forget to finish the writing. It sounds familiar. Lacey, you can still get, well, just write me like you always do, and I'll invoice you for May. Yeah, Yarn Club stays, don't worry. I mean, like, I think I already said that. I have all the yarn and all the extras for the Yarn Club already, like, until the end of the year. So I already have it, so I'm not gonna, like, not sell it. Exactly, automatic download. Catherine, in my years on Etsy, I have come across some people who are very not tech savvy, and sometimes it's hard to explain to people who don't understand. I mean, when someone does not understand the technology, it's very hard to explain to them how it works. And it doesn't matter how many times I tell them the Etsy send you the pattern, not me. If someone is really like tech challenged, in the end they will give me their email and say, can you send it here please, I cannot find it. And like in these cases I will, but 99% of the times I just tell them you have to figure it out through Etsy. It's not that I'm like being a dick, it's just like if I had to like privately send the message to every person who buys a pattern, I would never do anything else. Teleportations, yes, I'm all for that. If anyone's working on that right now, like I'm gonna, you know, I'll totally like sponsor that. How lazy. Are you gonna slide into my DMs? Fiona, I know I try to not say some people are just stupid, but you're a tech support for a company you're partnering, and it's yeah, exactly. It's terrible to try to explain that to people who don't understand. Okay. Oh, Isela, are you new here? I say worse things than that on my lives. You should go back and watch the Naughty Crochet Yarniversity and the What the F Yarniversity. You'll hear some more terrible language than that. All right. Put the file on your desktop only to find out they have literally put the Oh my god! That's hilarious! Oh my god! Oh, I feel for you. I feel for you in that job. Oh my god, that's hilarious. I just had a really funny image in my mind. What? When I work tech support, at least once a week, someone called in the company, I couldn't find the any key. Oh my god! Oh man, tech support sounds like a funny job now. Sadly, there's no cure for that. Oh my god. Hate any key. That's hilarious. Okay. Straying off topic here. Type F and type 5. That's so good. I'm sorry. It's just, I cannot imagine someone getting to the point where it's like putting the USB stick on the table and going, why is it not working? I have it. I have it there. Okay. My cheeks hurt. On that note, we're gonna edit for today. We're gonna end on the high note. I hope that today's Yarniversity was interesting to you and that you've learned some new things. If you are a crochet designer submitting your design to a magazine, I would love to hear about it. If you are a crochet designer who have already submitted in the past or have been published, I would love to hear about that too. And don't forget to come back to the video and comment down below to be entered into the mystery bag of unclaimed prizes, which we will choose a winner for next week. And now we are going to go and choose a winner from last week's Yarniversity. So let me take you with me. Okay, so here is the random comment picker from last week. I already have the link here and I filtered duplicate users. I'm gonna get the comments. It looks like we have 24 comments. And let's start and see. And don't forget, if you are the winner, you're gonna have only 3 days this time because I am done with winners not claiming their prizes. So 3 days to email me and claim your prize. And don't forget the prizes. I showed them last week and they're already packed here, so I can't show them to you again. But they're everything to do with knitting. So if you don't knit and you win and you don't want it, then you gotta say, okay, you gotta email me and say you don't want it. All right. And the winner is Kitten Corleone. She says, what a wonderful thing it is to have the ability to laugh at oneself or others in good fun without someone feeling suicidal over it. So I guess she really enjoyed the good-spirited Yarniversity that we had last week, where, you know, we all shared our crochet fails and it was all in good spirit and we all had some good laughs with each other and not at each other and without anyone getting hurt. So you are the winner, and when you see this and know that you won, contact me to claim your prize. If you don't want it, if you don't knit, or you don't know any knitters around you that you would like to give it to, then let me know and I will just choose a new winner. To find the F5. All right, so congratulations. Yes, congratulations to the winner. Cheers. Sounds like a mob name, right? Corleone. Congratulations to you. And yeah, I will see you all next week with a new Yarniversity, which I hope that you guys would like this topic that I have for next week. Might not be for everyone, but we'll see. And Mocha, you definitely gotta contact me. We're gonna do that like Yarniversity about everything that's terrible. And let's do that together. That would be fun. And sometime during this week, there might be a pop-up live that, you know, I cannot tell you in advance when it is because it's going to be like whenever I have time on my schedule. But I have a lot of things, again, that I found and I need to clear up. So sometime during this week, I might just like spontaneously go live and give away a tons of stuff. So we will see if my schedule allows it. Next Sunday is Mother's Day in the States. I did not know that. I need to think about it if I want to change the subject or not. We will see. Anyway, you'll have to see whenever I post the subject. You'll have to see. Awesome. Okay, so I will then see you all next week. Okay, so have a wonderful week. Thank you all very, very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.